BYD built its entire empire on one promise: the cheapest electric car a working family could actually buy. Tesla built its empire on the opposite: the most desirable car money could buy. Between those two extremes sat the biggest untouched market on Earth, the middle class. Hundreds of millions of buyers. No real option. Until now. Toyota just launched a $23,000 electric SUV, full production, global scale, 8 decades of trust behind the badge. And it is aimed with surgical precision at every buyer BYD and Tesla have been ignoring. This is not Toyota catching up, this is Toyota arriving. And the rules just changed. To understand why this car matters, you need to understand who built it and what they were willing to wait for. In 2025, Toyota sold 10.5 million vehicles across its Toyota and Lexus brands. That is 31,000 cars a day, 1,300 every hour, 6 straight years as the world's top automaker. This is not a company that stumbles into success, but the criticism was consistent. Toyota was slow on electric. In 2025, it sold roughly 199,000 pure EVs, up 42% year over year, but still a fraction of total output. BYD was moving millions of fully electric vehicles annually. The gap looked embarrassing on paper. What critics missed was intent. Toyota sold 4.4 million hybrids in 2025, deliberately using them as a gateway, converting reluctant buyers into electrified buyers without forcing a technology shift they weren't ready for. Patient, calculated, effective. But patience has a deadline. The affordable EV window was closing fast, and Toyota knew that waiting any longer meant permanently surrendering that segment. So it moved, not with a concept car or a limited showcase, but with a mass-market electric SUV priced at $23,000. No hedging, no half measures. The Toyota Urban Cruiser EV is a B-segment compact SUV, big enough for a family of 4 or 5, small enough for daily city use. But the detail that separates it from every other budget EV on the market is this: it was never a petrol car first. Almost every affordable EV currently on sale began life as an internal combustion vehicle. Engineers stripped the engine, inserted a battery pack, and rebranded it electric. The result is always a compromise. Raised floor heights, wasted cabin space, added weight, and a driving character that never quite feels right. Toyota skipped all of that. The Urban Cruiser was designed as an EV from a blank sheet, on a dedicated BEV platform, which means the battery sits flat beneath the floor, the cabin is maximized, and nothing feels improvised. The styling is sharp: LED headlights, black body cladding, a connected LED tail lamp. DAO. Inside, large touchscreen, 360-degree camera, automatic emergency braking, lane keeping assist, 5 color options. This is not a stripped economy car with an EV badge slapped on. It is a properly engineered compact SUV that starts at $23,000. In India, pricing lands between 18 and 24 lakh rupees, putting a genuine Toyota EV within reach of the buyer who today chooses a mid-range petrol crossover. That exact buyer is who this car was built for. One decision drove every other. Toyota chose LFP, lithium iron phosphate chemistry. That single call is responsible for the price, the safety record, and the long-term ownership story. 2 packs are available: 49 kilowatt-hours and 61 kilowatt-hours. Cost. LFP cells are significantly cheaper to manufacture than the NMC or NCA batteries in most premium EVs. Without LFP, this car would be priced at $30,000 to $35,000. The $23,000 number exists entirely because of this battery decision. Safety. LFP is thermally stable. The risk of thermal runaway, the chemical chain reaction behind the most dangerous EV battery fires, is dramatically lower with LFP than with alternative chemistries. For buyers in India, Southeast Asia, and Latin America, where temperatures exceed 40 degrees Celsius regularly, that is not a footnote. That is a real-world advantage. Longevity. LFP degrades slowly across thousands of charge cycles. Toyota backs this with an 8 to 10 year battery warranty. The 5-year battery replacement fear that kept early EV buyers up at night, it largely does not apply here. Real-world range is practical for daily life. The 49 kilowatt-hour front-drive variant covers roughly 280 to 320 kilometers in city driving. The 61 kilowatt-hour front drive reaches 350 to 400 kilometers. A WD sits near 395 kilometers, charging from 10% to 80% on a DC fast charger takes around 45 minutes. A home 7 kilowatt wall box handles overnight top-ups without issue. Performance beats expectations. Base variant, 144 horsepower, 0 to 100 in 9.6 seconds. 61 kilowatt hours front drive, 174 horsepower, 8.7 seconds. A WD top spec, 184 horsepower, 7.4 seconds. In city traffic, the instant torque of any electric motor makes these numbers feel better than they read. The 2025 EV market runs on two poles. BYD owns volume, Tesla owns premium. Toyota just inserted itself between them, precisely, deliberately, and at a price neither can easily counter. BYD overtook Tesla as the world's top EV seller in 2025, powered by aggressive pricing and its proprietary Blade battery supply chain. The Dolphin, Atto 3, and Seal sit directly in the urban cruiser's price range. BYD's engineering and cost structure are genuinely impressive. Vertical integration from raw materials to finished vehicles gives it a cost advantage few can match. But in Toyota's priority markets, India, Indonesia, Thailand, Brazil, BYD is still building trust from scratch. Buyers ask, will parts be available locally in 5 years? Will a trained technician be within driving distance? What happens if something goes wrong 3 years from now in a small city where BYD has no presence? These are not irrational fears. They are the practical concerns of buyers who cannot afford to gamble on an unfamiliar brand. BYD cannot purchase the answers to those questions. Toyota has already lived them for decades in every one of those markets. Tesla is the technology benchmark. Best software, strongest charging network, best range efficiency. The Model Y is the world's top-selling EV and deserves the title. But it starts at $40,000 to $60,000. In markets where that figure equals several years of median household income, Tesla is not aspirational. It is simply absent from the conversation. Service infrastructure in developing markets compounds the gap further. Toyota sits exactly where neither competitor can comfortably follow. At $23,000, it price matches BYD, but it carries 80 years of trust that BYD cannot replicate overnight. Against Tesla, it does not compete on technology. It competes on the reality that a $23,000 Toyota with a dealer down the road beats a $50,000 Tesla with the nearest service center 2 cities away. Toyota found the gap neither rival can fill without becoming something fundamentally different. Then it built a car to own it. The urban cruiser EV is not a product launch. It is the opening of a campaign. Toyota's target markets, India, Indonesia, Thailand, Brazil, are not random. They are the high-growth, price-sensitive economies where the next wave of EV adoption will be decided, and they are precisely the markets where Toyota already has the infrastructure, the dealer networks, and the customer relationships that take competitors decades to build. The pressure this creates is already visible. BYD now faces a price-matched rival in the markets where brand credibility is its largest vulnerability. Other manufacturers are accelerating affordable EV timelines that were not previously treated as urgent. And the assumption that a budget EV means compromised quality, uncertain service, or short lifespan begins to erode every time a Toyota dealer hands over these keys and a buyer drives away, knowing exactly where to go if something needs fixing 2 years from now. Toyota's global service infrastructure is not a soft advantage. In India alone, Toyota operates thousands of authorized service points. In Indonesia, Thailand, and Brazil, the story is identical. This is hardware that took half a century to build and cannot be conjured quickly by any competitor, regardless of how well capitalized they are. By 2030, Toyota has committed to scaling EV volumes significantly across all major markets. The urban cruiser is the foundation that makes that possible. More models will follow, across body styles, price points, and market segments, as battery costs continue their downward trajectory and consumer confidence in electric ownership grows. The moment Toyota priced a real production-ready electric SUV at $23,000, EVs stopped being a product for early adopters and became a product for everyone. The mainstream middle-class buyer, the one who needs a reliable, practical, well-supported car for daily family life, now has a genuine electric option from the brand they trust most. BYD built its competitive edge on affordable EVs with solid engineering. Toyota just matched both and walked in carrying 80 years of goodwill. The global market already spent a lifetime earning. The first move has been made, the rest of the game is only just beginning.